Okay. Right, well, I'm going to try and attempt to do this again. Okay, the Elvis name, the name Elvis, the word Elvis, right? I want to just break this down, and it's a bit like this thing, the Illuminati sign, yeah? This one that showed up, I think it was in the Da Vinci Code. They had this in the Da Vinci Code at some point. But it just reads Illuminati one way, and then if you flip it over, it reads Illuminati the other way. Okay, wonderful. But what I want to do is I want to look at Elvis. So let's go back to Elvis. So we know this reality is all about dealing with the two different sides of reality, the physical and the metaphysical. So if we have a name like this, then we've got to have the twin of it, right? So if we're going to twin this, what we need to do is we need to put a mirror line somewhere. So maybe like right here, if you see where my cursor is, if we were to put a mirror line there, right? Dot, 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 right? And then we were to mirror this back, this is what we're going to end up with, right? Something like this. Sorry, Mike, this is just so terrible writing on this thing. My handwriting is much better than this in real life. Okay, and what this means now is that we now read in the 3, the E, the correct way, and this S, if you look at the shape of the S, we've got a 2 here, right? So we've already pulled out 2113 out of Elvis, right? So we've got some numbers starting to show up. Well, I'm like, well, what if you just were to mirror it again, right? So if we were to put a mirror line right here, okay, and we were mirroring it again, let's do that, yeah? Oh, come on. Let's mirror this again, right? Okay. Doing pretty good, Dan. Doesn't look completely retarded yet. Well, I'm saying that. And I'm sorry, this is going to take a few minutes to... Maybe I could speed up between these bits, I don't know. So that's interesting as well, isn't it? So now we've got a 51 and we've still got a 13. But now we've got some other numbers. We've got a 25, we've got an 11, we've got another 11, and we've got a 33. So already we're starting to pull some interesting numbers out of this thing. We can take the 25. Okay, let's just do it over here, pretty small. If we take the 25 and we make it into what I would call a twin number now, and you'll have seen these twin numbers, and we can actually make the 20 and the let's make the 21 into a twin number as well. But so the twin number of 25 would be 2552. Okay, and if we were to add those numbers together now, 25 and 52, yeah, this is the twin number. You know, put a line down through here. Yeah, they're reflecting each other. If we were to sum these two together now, we get 77, right? The year that Elvis dies. Interesting. What else to say about it? There's also the year that Elvis was born in here. We've got a 30, a 3, and a 5, and we've got the. So you could put that twin number in as well. 30, and you can do this with all these bloody numbers. Just takes forever. 35 and 53. And what do we get from that? Ah, another interesting number. 88. Oh, it's getting even more interesting, Dan. This is going to be a fairly interesting video for people, I think. So, and we can do it with the 21 as well. Let's take the 21 twin number, which is 12 and 21. And we get back to, if we add those two sets of numbers up, we get back to 33. Okay. So some interesting numbers start popping out of here. And of course, if you were going to take this the 33, because we've got a 33, a double, a double 33. If you're going to twin that, you're going to have a 33 and a 33, which is going to get you to 66. Yeah. So, tons of interesting numbers to pull out of there with the twin again. Remember, we want to do the twin because everything is, what we're dealing with, the fictional side of the metaphysical side of reality is a reflection of the physical side, yeah? It's the thing that you can see but you can't touch, if you know what I mean. Yeah? Anyway, I want to show you a couple of other interesting things that happen with this picture. So let's scroll down a bit, because bear in mind this. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to write this back out again, but I'm going to make the mirror line like right along the edge of here, and we're going to see what we get, okay? So what we're going to have is we're going to have a 2, yeah? And then that 2 comes back down for the 5. Oh my gosh, now the kiddie writing's really starting. Then we've got that 1, and the 1 joins through to the other one. Oh dear. And then we have the V here, and this other V joins right on. Okay, so we've got an X now. And then we've got another 1, because those two 1s join together. And then we've just got a 3 and another 3. Okay, that's not very good. But I hope you can... So we're seeing something here, right? Right, bear with me on this, because this gets interesting. Trust me. If we flip this thing where this is the top now, and this is the bottom, let's look at something before I get into the Roman numerals actually here. Oh, should I do let's just do the Roman numerals first, right? Let's look at this 1x1. So that doesn't make any logical sense in Roman numerals, right? Because take 1 away from 10 and then add 1 back, right? It just comes back out at 10, yeah? But if we break it down and we do this section first and then this section last, what we have is the same x, yeah? We have these two sets of numbers, yeah? And you've guessed it already, 10 minus 1 is your 9. And then we've also got 10 plus 1 is your... Oh, Jesus. This is the problem with this bloody thing. Is your 11, right? I've got to wait for it to... There's your 11. So we've got a 911 in here as well, which is super interesting. And if you watch old JL, he'll go on about the 611 date, right? Which is just this inverted. Yeah, 6 is 9, 9 is 6. Same difference in terms of the symbolism of the number, yeah? So that's interesting as well. So we've got a 911 encoded right there. I'll tell you what else is encoded here as well, because when you look at it like that, right, this 1 x 1, yeah, when we had 911, yeah, what is ground 0, yeah? Ground 0 is the spot right in the center of here, yeah? Ground 0 is x marks a spot, is the mark where everything happens, ground 0. So what you've really got is a 101. And if you look at some of my previous videos, 101 comes up a lot, the 101 event. Laugh out loud, yes. Right, okay, so I guess keep bearing with me. I'll tell the other thing this forms as well, is this forms a double 8. I don't know if you can make that out, but if you write that, so this ground 0 with the cross, the idea of that there, can you make out the double 8? It's like a 4-leaf clover, yeah? So you've got an 8 going this way, and then you've got an 8 going this way, yeah? But it's kind of, I don't know if you can make that out, yeah? Can you make that out, that 8 there, and then this 8 here? That's what you end up with there, yeah? a flower right at the center, a rose right at the center of where you come from, and then you rise. You are the rose. You have rose. All right. So there's some interesting numbers out of the, out of this stuff, and you can also pick out a 4 and a 46 out of here as well. Yeah. IV is 4. You've got IV, and then you've got VI. Okay, which is 6. So you've got 4. You can also pick a 5 out of here again, and you can also pick a 6 out of here. So I mean, I don't know if I need to write that in there, but oh my gosh, I shouldn't have tried. So you've got a 4 and you've got a 6. Okay. Oh dear, it's getting bad. It's getting worse. Okay. So some interesting numbers, right? What I want to do now though is look at this image here, and I want to turn this up so that this is the top and this is the bottom, and we're going to see something interesting, I think. So the first part of that is, these bugs, I tell you, all the time. When I'm trying to do a video, I get attacked. Okay, so the first thing is what we've got is we've got this kind of image here, right? Which would be the, I don't know, I'm trying my best. Oh, no. Or if I could just do color and get rid of that little bit on the end there. Color 2. Color 2. Paint. Oh, bloody hell, just undo it. Why that's coming out black, I do not know. Oh my god, it just shows how crap my computer skills are, yeah. But anyway, this is what we end up with, right? So, I don't believe this, but I got another bug crawling up my leg. Sod off! Right, sorry about that. So this is the first thing that we get, right? What this is like a, a water buffalo head, yeah? This is like the Longhorn, Texas. This is what this is. Let's just embellish this just a little bit, right? Can you understand what that is now? That is the womb. I mean, it's not a very good picture, but these are the what do you call them? The oviducts, yeah, the tubes, and then it comes down to the womb, yeah, where you are born out of, yeah. So what is being born out of there? Well, we've got to put this 1 in. Well, let's just write the 1 right here. So this is the 1. This is you, me. This is the 1 being born out of the womb, right? The cow head. This is what this is. This is the cow head. And we are born now. This is where it gets a little bit more interesting, because we can write this image here 2 different ways, right? This is what we should be born into, right? Yeah? That's what we should be born into. Perfect balance, yeah? Nature. The cross. That's why Jesus dies on the cross, because he's perfectly balanced, puts his arms out. The center of that cross, ground zero, is your heart. That's where the balance point is. Follow what your heart says is the right thing to do. This is the balance point, right? This is where we should be born from, yeah? And it's just another representation of the womb here. This part here is the womb, and this part here is the man. This is ground zero, where you come out of, right? The only problem is, what we've been enveloped into is the counter to this. And let's draw out the counter to this. This is interesting. The counter to this is, just flip these 2 around. Take the bottom part and flip these around. So take this V and move it down here. Move this V up, right? So the counter to that, the counter to nature, oh my gosh. The counter to nature is, if I can draw it, why is it doing that? Bloody buggering thing. It must just be where I am on that my keypad's pretty, my mouse pad is pretty, it's getting pretty old. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's close enough. That's the counter to that, yeah? the diamond, the the diamoon, yeah, the diamoon, the diamond, the square, the cube, all those things. It's the same bloody image. It breaks down to this though. This square, the image, this Washington D.C. right here. This is the thing we're all trapped in. This is what we've, this is, instead of being in nature, we are here, right? Anyway, at some point we have to come out of that, right? And so we're born back out of there as the one. Now, if you never went in there, you don't need to be reborn. If you've stayed in nature your whole life, well, that's it, isn't it? But anyway, the one is reborn out of here now, and so we've got this thing here. What's this thing? Well, there's 2 3s on its end. Let's do them. There's a 3, and I wish I'd come over a little bit. Hang on a minute. Let's undo that. Let's try and keep everything fairly lined up, Dan. There's 1 3, and then let's put the other 3 on. Oh my gosh. Well, you can't really. Not very good, Dan. Not very good at all. I hate this. I don't hate it. It's just so annoying. It's frustrating is what it is. Let me come down a bit. I'm trying to squidge that in there. You'll know where I'm going with this here pretty quick, right? So we've got that, and I'm not worried about being in the middle, and we've got this. We've got the WW, the 33, flipped up, and this is, I think you've probably already guessed it, the crown. Okay, this is what the king wears. This is what the sovereign wears. Yeah. So again, there's a problem with this as well, because this is the, there is a crown that we're all wearing right now, but it's this crown. Yeah. It's the crown of thorns. Yeah. That's the crown that we're wearing right now. That's great, Dan. That's great. But this is the crown that we need to wear, right? This is the true crown, yeah? This is, again, 33 is just another number of man. If you go to my chart, you'll see that 33 is a reference to the sun, right? To the one. Oh dear. But the system wants you to believe it's something terrible, something to be afraid of. Every time somebody uses that, there's some kind of bad connotation attached to it. This is what the system always pushes that idea. The system wants you to believe, the system wants you to believe all these bloody symbols are pretty much evil. Yeah, that's what they want you to believe. And they're going after this now as well, the cross. Any way that can be corrupted, and it's corrupted through people like the Catholic Church that do bad things. Any kind of control system, at the end of the day, any type of control system, any kind of organized man-made system is usually not a good thing. I hate to say it, but it's usually not a good thing in one way or another, because the problem is man is corruptible, and that's just what it boils down to. Anyway, so we have an interesting journey here. When we just flip this around, we've got an interesting journey. We've got the bull head, the cow's head. You're born from the cow as the one, hopefully into nature. Yeah, and if we're in nature, we're balanced. Yeah, and we are the one, the king. Yeah. This is your life. You go through nature, and it's a pretty good one when you're balanced. Yeah. When you're balanced, you're the king. Yeah. What happens here, though, is if we flip this around, we get the diamond, we get the square. Yeah. We get the control system. This is the city walls. This is the walls of the castle. It's all the same symbolism at its root core. And this is about being controlled, and this is about being free. Yeah, that's all. That's what it's about. You're playing a game of noughts and crosses. Yeah, and I'll tell you that's interesting as well. And there's no winner. Yeah, because it's balanced. Well, there's no. If you know how to play the game, there's no winner. Yeah, it's always a draw. Yeah, that will lead me into another thing that I will talk about another day, another film, War Games, because that film's loaded as well. But yeah, you're playing tic-tac-toe, right? With when things are balanced, this tic-tac-toe game is always comes out at a draw. When it's when when this is winning, you are stuck. You're stuck in the system. I don't know if that makes sense to people or not, but that's how everything works, right? You're either in here or you're here. If you're here, you're doing good. The problem is you've always got to deal with this thing. Yeah, even when you're here. So, yeah, you've got to deal with it. And this is your 88 balance, Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say about that. Because, yeah, this is interesting as well. I forgot to mention it. But here's your 55 right here. Yeah, the V up and the V down. Again is your 55. And you could call this 55 as well if you really wanted to. The reason why we call this 55, though, why I would call it 55, is because it sums to 10 right here, rather than having to draw the 2 back round the other way. Here's your 55 that sums to 10, and what's interesting about this is when you do, like I said earlier, when you draw the ground 0 over the top, and you link these bits back in, there's your 1 8, yeah, and then here's your other 8 going the other way, and there's your top of your pyramid, or your bottom of your pyramid, and and you've got your 8855 right there. Again, there's so many numbers in here, and there's so much interesting stuff. I don't know if I covered everything that I really wanted to cover in here. You can do a couple of other things, and originally when I was looking at this, what you can actually do is you can merge these two as well slightly, and you still end up with a crown. Instead, you end up with a 3-pointed crown, and you end up with a better image of the womb, right? The cup of Christ. So if I was to show you, if I can do it, so let's revert this back to more of an S shape, right? We come over here, and then we come back round like this, right? And I don't know, don't do it, there we go. So that goes there, then you have the one the same, then instead of so now the V's become this. I can't draw it big enough. Oh my gosh, Dan. It's slowly getting worse, isn't it, people? Slowly getting worse. Let's come across a little bit. But your V's kind of intersect now, instead of being whatever they are. I don't know. This was the original way I drew it out, but you don't have to do it like this. And you still get the crown here, yeah? You just get a 3-pointed crown instead. Boy, that looks terrible. But you end up getting the V. You kind of end up encompassing everything I just said. You kind of have the Vesica Pisces, the diamond there. You have the 2 V's that emerged. A sort of skew whiff cross. and you have a slightly better looking womb. It may, I don't know, maybe it's not a slightly better looking womb. I don't know. Anyway, what else did I want to say about it? Let me look at my little list here real quick. What else did I have in here? Not a lot, really. This is stuff for another day, I guess. Oh, I'll tell you what I wanted to... Yeah, let's just show you that as well, because... Okay. Let's look at this now, right? And let's turn this into a diamond, yeah? So what you have is you have this, and you have this, and you have the diamond, yeah, in the middle. And so it reminds me of two playing cards. One's a little more abstract than the other. So the first thing it reminds me of is an ace, yeah? An ace of diamonds. With the one in the corner. Usually only have it in one, in opposite corners, like this across here. You don't usually have it in every corner, I don't think, on a playing card. And so it kind of reminds me of ace of diamonds, but the other thing that this is, right, this diamond is the number 11, and the number 11 is, oh my gosh, Dan, you are going to attempt to write it, is the jack, yeah? And so eventually I will talk about Michael Jackson, because he's super important in all of this. But yeah, there is one more little thing I want to do with these numbers. But so that's another interesting thing that you can pull out of this part of that, this part of the image here, yeah? This middle section. We can pull a jack of diamonds or an ace of diamonds, right? Interesting again. And if we combine both of those, yeah, I know it's not black. I think blackjack is spades, isn't it? Is that really what it's named? I think blackjack is really, I think it's named after the spades suit of that. But what you have anyway, regardless, when you have a jack and you have the ace, we've got blackjack, right? So here's blackjack encoded in flipping in the center of the Elvis name. I mean, I mean, maybe I just reach too much. Maybe I'm looking at stuff and I'm just reaching way too much. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, one last little bit of reaching to do, right? So I sort of semi-combine this here. Well, what happens if we balance these two? So we balance the reflection with let's call one the physical and one the reflect. Well, they're both reflections actually, but let's balance the reflections of each other here. Okay, let's see. And I'll try and just write it out so you can see what's going on. Let's get a clean bit of paper. So the first thing we've got to write is the 2-1, and I'm going to try and keep it fairly flowing because it'll work better. So we've got the 2-1 V, and then it's a 1, and then it's the 3. Now, what I want to do is just move the mirror back up on it. So what I need to write now is I need to write the 5. So follow my cursor. I'm writing the 5 in, right? Oh my gosh, there's the 5. If you can, the 1 just goes right back over the top of that, yeah? Then I've got the other V, which is up the other way, so let's merge that over the top, yeah, and I get that, and then I got another 1 that goes back over the top here, and then the 3 just goes back over the top, right? So we've got some more interesting numbers to look at. And so, if you bear with me, we've now got the 811 in here, and we've got 113 in here as well. some more interesting numbers, and we've also now got, if we break these numbers apart, we've got we've got a 20 in the middle, and we've got a 1 and a 1 either side of that, and we can minus off the 1 here, which will give us a 9, yeah, and then we can add the 1 back on like we did before, and that gives us the 11 again. So we've still got a 9, 11 in the middle of here, and we've also got a, what was the other number I was pulling out of there? I think that was it. You can, well, you can do the same thing as we did with the 911, except just take it off this 20. So you can do a 19, right? And you can do a 21, right? And the Wu Flu started in 19, and we are now in 21, right? So that's another way of looking at that. Depends on how you want to, where you want to draw the line on how you look at these symbols here for the Roman numerals. Anyway, I think that's about the end of the video. Some very interesting bits and bobs. You can pull some other bits and pieces out of there, but again, it gets more abstract the more you do. I'm sure there's some bits that I've forgotten. You can start adding numbers together, and you know, it just gets more. There's a lot of numbers in there, but it just gets more and more sort of vague, I guess, is really what I should have been saying there. I think that's it, really. The only other thing I want to just mention is when you look at that like this, yeah, this is, I want to tell you again, you know, this is the dam right here, yeah, and here we've got the 4 columns of the dam, the 4 intake towers, the 4 what are those bloody things, Daleks, yeah, Doctor Who. So when we're looking at I'm talking about the Hoover Dam here, yeah, this diamond here is Diana. It represents the dam, yeah. The dam is the female that births the, you know, the offspring, right? This is, you know, Diana is the dame. The dame is the dam, yeah, is the dome. It's you know, it's all a play on the same idea. The dome is the you know, the dome, oh my gosh, is just this thing, yeah. It's holding the water back, yeah. This thing is a cup. This thing's the womb, and we can make it into the cup now. This is now the cup of Christ. It's all the same image, the same idea. This is the control system. You know, if you want to be free, you have to come out of that control system. What does that mean? That means taking responsibility for your own well-being. This means, this is what the system's doing right now. It's giving more and more and more handouts, yeah? I say take the handouts. The reason being is because that money is your money that they're giving out, right? Everybody that holds a dollar in their hand, every time they print some more money, you're losing money, yeah? That money is devalued. There is no debt. They're not printing off more debt. That debt's already been paid by the people that hold hard currency. If you hold money in some format or the other, you know, in one way or the other, in the bank or in the gambling stock market idea of things, which again, that's been forced on people again. You know, you kind of can't get out of that one if you're in a certain job. Sometimes, you know, you can only have your pension in that thing. But what I'm saying is, getting sidetracked, when you hold that money and they print some more off, the money that the money they've just printed off has devalued the money that you're holding. Yeah, that money is yours that they're printing off. Don't be one of these retards that says, oh, I'm not taking it. It's part of the system. You're already in the system. We are already in the system. And there's a couple of channels out there that say, oh, you shouldn't take the money. That's completely nuts. Absolutely nuts, in my opinion. Because that value is your value, right? Oh dear, anyway, but you shouldn't be dependent on that. That's the difference, right? You shouldn't be dependent on these handouts. And I'm waffling on too much and making this video way too long. But that's it, you know. I mean, if you want to be free, you've got to be able to survive by yourself, basically, you know. The things that you want in life, the things that you need in life, you should be able to provide for yourself. Okay? And then the small indulgences we have, that's what they should be. They should be a treat, you know, something that you're not dependent on. You know, they should be something that's to be enjoyed, but not to control your life. To be free, you've got to be out of the control system. You've got to be away from dependency on somebody else. Yeah, you're not free when you're in your mother's womb. You're not free. Yeah, you're part of the mother. When you come out from that system, now you're free. Yeah, when you're birthed out into the real world, now you're free. That's, you know, I mean, oh dear. It's a pretty simple concept, really. The problem is, we've all become, well, at least I have, become very addicted to the things that have been placed there for our comfort and for our enjoyment and for our ease of life, you know. We've become addicted to those things, and now to come away from those things, to come out of that addiction, is extremely difficult. Extremely difficult. It may not be for some people, you know, and there's certain things in my life I know I can give up so much easier than other things, you know. So there's going to be for everybody, there's going to be a different set of challenges on, you know, how to deal with breaking away from the addictions. But, you know, for a lot of people, the best way to break away from addiction is to completely remove that thing that you're addicted to from your life. Just completely remove it. But anyway, I'm digressing now. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope there was something interesting in there. I think that's pretty interesting myself, but, you know, I'm crazy, so what do I know? Alright, I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers. Alright, bye. Okay. Right, one more number that I forgot to pick out of there. Let's see if I can find the spot here. I forgot all about it until I just clicked off the thing. Remember I said that this equates, this set of Roman numerals, the IV is 4 and the VI is 6, so we've got the 46 in there. Well, this is your other set of numbers. If I can just come underneath that a little bit, hopefully I've got enough room to do something here. We've got the 2, so what we've got here is then a 2 4. So we've got the 2 4, and we've also got another important number which references both the 66 and the 33 again, which is the 6 3, and you can do those twin numbers as well. And interestingly enough, if you do these twin numbers, let's put it in there. So you've got the 42. What you end up with is, again, we're back to 66 again. The same with the 33. But we've also got Elvis's age when he died, the 42. Yeah. I forgot to mention it. It's interesting. You can get a 54 down the bottom here, and you can, if you use this up the other way, and you can get a, what's this, a 43 here as well. And the 43 again, in fact, that's a what, you know, but the 43 again is another good reference to the balance number between 55 and 88. It's a 143 that you end up getting, and 43 is the Dam Buster year. So another nice, interesting, another little bit there, yeah. And of course you get a 99. Here's your 99 red balloons number right here, if you twin this number as well. So it's all about twinning. It's all about looking at that reflection in the mirror, the man in the mirror, as Wacko Jacko would say. Anyway, I just thought I'd add that little bit in. God knows where this will sit in the video, but anyway, cheers, bye.